So if that other person is so clearly the problem in your work relationship, how do you fix it? How do you fix that? I want him to see that he's a problem. Can you feel that? It's such a powerful, powerful statement. It's like, you're stuck in this place where you basically done everything. And you can so clearly see that if he or she would just behave differently, you could move forward. And you're stuck, powerless, stuck. So, can you see a situation in your life where you had those thoughts before? That thought, I want him or I want to see, I want him or her to see that they are the problem. So, if you can see that situation in your mind's eye, maybe it's at work, maybe it's in your relationships, it doesn't matter. Allow yourself to go to a moment where you thought that about another person and just see how, you've tried everything and it hasn't worked. Nothing's shifting. So try something else. Try to see where your part in it is and try to see if that could help move the situation. Maybe just a little bit, and maybe that's all it needs to unravel. So, in your situation, when you look at that person and you want them to see that they are the problem, can you see whether that is even entirely true? Because just notice as you believe this thought, it's like you've forgotten all about you. It's like they need to change. I want you to change. I want you to see that you need to change for us to move forward. And when you can just take that little step back and go like, okay, well, yes, so there is your part, which might be this, but here's my part. And even if it's just this small, but it's not 100% true that they are the problem. Maybe mostly, but maybe there's a small part where it's not true. And notice, how do you react and what happens when you believe that about another person? Because in that, I am powerless. I can't do anything to change if you are the problem. And also, I notice the energy with which I come at this person. I'm so irritated. Oh, I don't know what to do anymore. I might have given up. Every time I have to work with them, it's like the energy that I put out is disapproving in the highest degree. You are the problem. That is how I address this situation every time it comes up again. Because that is what I found, that is what I believe, that is what I see. I don't know about you, but I would find it hard to change if somebody came at me with that energy. You're the problem. And just notice. And notice that when you believe that thought about this person, in your mind, you see all the times when that was proven that they are the problem. And you bring all of that into this moment again. And the future looks bleak because they haven't changed yet. They're not going to change now. What are you going to do? Quit? fight with them, stay silent, implode, resent that you have to be there, right? So for a moment, just look at who you would be if you hadn't, if you couldn't think this thought about this person, that they are the problem. And I'm sure it's not that easy to see how it could be different. Maybe what you're thinking is, I don't know, they are the problem. But taking that step back from the situation and looking at it with new eyes can help you to just to see who they are. Maybe you start to see what they're going through in that moment. Maybe you just develop a little bit of compassion, empathy. Maybe you see something good about them, about how they work, and that just shifts your perception of the next time you're working with them just a little bit. That can be already a big step. That can be the first step to changing the situation. So I don't know is a good start. Who would you be without that thought? It allows you to just look without the story of what you know is true. And then how can you turn it around? How can you find an opposite? I want him to know that he's the problem. I don't want him to know that he's the problem. How could that be true? What I could see is that if he's going through a tough time in his life, and now he can see that he's a problem, it might be even harder for him to change. So maybe I don't want him to know that to see that he's the problem. Maybe if I can find a way of being supportive, that'll be easier. What could be another turnaround? I want me to see that I'm the problem. And maybe I'm not responsible for the whole of that situation. Maybe I'm only responsible for just a little part of it. And maybe I can change that little part. And for all I know, that might be the key to changing the whole situation. But if I can't see the part, I can't do anything to change it. I'm stuck. So where could it be true that I am a part of that problem? Maybe I'm not supportive. Maybe I've said something. Maybe I'm not bringing guidelines that are strict enough. Maybe I'm not open enough. I don't know your situation, what you're seeing. But I know this work. And I know how our mind functions. That if we feel the irritation, the frustration, the tension of this judgment of another, that there is a gift for us in there that's worth finding. That little part where I am the problem, where I can take that powerful step of making sure it's no longer a problem. So I would like to invite you to find it. Find that little piece that's yours and take that step. That's really empowering, satisfying, and then you know you've done your best.